let us go into our insights from the book Celestine Prophecy, written by James Redfield. So we are in the fourth Insight Masters, discussing about the energies, how we draw from each other. So we have ended in the last session, we have ended that all these three. So how we got to know how James met Chris and all the three, they started to converse and started to converse insights and how they connected with each other, and also the drama that plays in the family members, that is the where they are going to dine there. So today we'll go the drama, how the drama has begun. So they went to the owner of the building to have dinner. So the owner, his wife, and his daughter, all these three, they were serving food for Will, James, and for Chris. So the drama, this is how the drama began. While taking his seat, Will, this is what happened. So they all went to the dining room. So while taking his seat, Will accidentally brushed his fork with an arm. So it fell noisily to the floor. The man glared at the woman, who in turn spoke harshly to the young girl who had not yet moved to bring a new one. So this is what is happening at that moment. So when Will accidentally he drops his fork, but the man, means the owner, so he glared at the woman who in turn spoke harshly. So when he looked to the woman, so this woman, that means his wife. So his woman spoke harshly to the girl, to the young girl, who had not yet moved to bring a new one, so new fork. So she hurried into the other room and returned holding a fork, then handed it tentatively to Will. Her back was stopped and her hand shook slightly. "Enjoy the food," the man said, handling James one of the dishes. So handling them one of the dishes. For most of the meal, Chris and Will talked casually about academic life, the challenges of teaching and publishing. The proprietor had left the room, but the woman stood just inside the door. As the woman and her daughter began serving individual dishes of the pie, the young girl's elbow hit James' water glass, spilling the water on the table in front of him. The older woman rushed over in a rage, shouting at the girl in Spanish and pushing her out of the way. "I'm very sorry," the woman said, wiping up the water. "The girl is so clumsy." The young girl exploded, flinging the remaining pie at the woman, missing and splattering pie and broken shine across the middle of the table just as the proprietor returned. The old man shouted and the girl ran from the room. "I'm sorry," he said, hurrying to the table. "No problem," James said, and also he said that, "Don't be so hard on the girl." Soon all the three left figuring out the bill. As they were walking, Chris started to speak with the James. "Did you see that girl?" So Chris started to speak with the James. He's telling that, "Did you see that girl? She is a classic example of psychological violence. This is what the human need to control others. This is what the human needs to control to others leads to when taken to the extreme. The old man and the woman are dominating the girl totally. Did you see how nervous and stooped she was?" So James said, "Yes, but it appears she is about fed up." "Exactly," said Chris. "Her parents have never let up. And from her point of view, she has no choice but to lash out violently. It is the only way she can gain some control for herself. Unfortunately, when she grows up, Because of this early trauma, she will think she has to seize control and dominate others with the same intensity. This characteristic will be deeply ingrained and will make her just as dominating as her parents are now, especially when she is around people who are vulnerable, such as children. In fact, this same trauma, no doubt, happened to her parents before her. They have to dominate now because of the way their parents dominated them. That is the means through which psychological violence is passed down from one generation to another. Chris went to get his after all this discussing, he's a psychological teacher. uh, so he observed what the drama went on and how the parents, how they dominated the girl, and again to take control back, she again did the same in a different way. So then Chris went to get his sleeping bag. So in the meanwhile, James and Will started to converse. So then Will noticed that Chris is talking more than James. So Chris is expressing more to James. He's sharing all his knowledge, but nothing much from James. So he noticed only Chris, only that this man is sharing, but why James kept quiet. And he questioned to James and asked him the reason which draws James towards Chris. So James said Chris sharings are interesting and he wants to listen more from the Chris. And here, masters, we have to notice that a type of drama is also going on with the James. So what is that? So he has to come out from that. So then Will ignored James' answer and said, so Will know everything, and he is not agree, but though he is not agree, he kept quiet. So then did you see the energy? Then Will said, did you see the energy moving between the members of that family? That man and woman were sucking the child's energy into themselves until she was almost dead. So is it? So James said, I forgot to watch that energy flow. So, well, don't you think Chris would like to see that? What do you make of running into him in the first place? So, so this is what Will said to Chris. So, don't you think it has something meaning? We were driving down the road and you see someone who reminds you of an old friend, and when we meet him, he happens to also be looking for the manuscript. Doesn't that sound beyond coincidence? So this Will, see how Will is there, so how he is with so much of awareness, and he is aware of each and every moment, each and everything what's going on with him and also with others. Means with James also. Then he said, perhaps, Will continued, perhaps you met so that you could receive some information that will extend your journey here. And doesn't it follow that perhaps you have some information for him as well? So this is what Will is questioning to James. So you gain that information. What about the information you're supposed to give to Chris? So James felt some connection in the words of Will and said, yes. Now it's sunset time, and Will went to his tent while James went to Chris. Out of nowhere, Chris started to question James about insights. James shared about 3 insights and also his experiences in the Vincente Gardens. So James also shared the translation script which Sarah gave him. So if we remember, in the garden, Sarah gave some translation script to the 3rd insight to James. So he handed over that to Chris, and Chris was thrilled listening to the James experiences and how he saw that energy and everything in the garden. So the sun has set completely, and all 3 disappeared into their tents to take rest. And next day morning, Chris got his car car water pump and decided to go to that gardens where James has mentioned and where James has so many experiences. Then Will and James packed their bags and started their journey to Kola. What are the twist and what are the twist in that place, and see how each and every character that coming in this journey, adding and giving some insights, and they are leaving. And here and now it's turned to James also, because he has already known all the three insights. Now James has to express his thoughts. James has to express his knowledge, to has to share all the knowledge to others as well. This is how, masters, we have to share our knowledge. So what we have know till now, so we have to share that to others. So when we share, so this is how what Mahatar Babaji once said, the shift of earth. So the earth shift means shift. We have to bring shift in us, and also each and every one, when they bring their shift in them. So this is how the shift, how the ascension will happen for the earth. So this is what Mahatar Babaji once said. So, and yes, we also got to know how the arguments and how the dominating nature we suck. So those people suck energy from the others, right? So this is what in this session, and next session we will know what are the twists going to happen in that new place, and how James is going to connect with other insights with different people. Right. So thank you so much, masters. If at all you want to share anything, you can unmute yourself. Thank you, Nandini ji. Thank you, Navindra. Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot, Sarada Garu. Very beautiful. First of all, happy Buddha Purnima to everyone.
Thank you, sir.
And in meditation, the guidance you have, the way you have guided, connecting to that wisdom from Buddha was so connecting. So thanks a lot. And as well, this wisdom, particularly, today's insight about communication, about how through communication and things that we do, we are working with the energies. That is quite interesting, because we are in a flux of energy. So it's like we take everything that happens in our life, and we keep passing it on to the future. So the past is influencing our present, and our present is influencing the future. And that is why we have to be very conscious, aware, and change a little pattern even in the present, because then we are breaking the chain of the past and we are creating a new future. So this is quite interesting and quite important, because that is what that is what awareness brings. And even in this example of the kid, how both the parents behave with the kid. And yesterday, even I came across a nice quote which says, "Speak to your children as if they are the wisest, kindest, most beautiful and magical humans on the earth.
Wow.
For what they believe is what they will become." And here we are talking about children in this quote. However, this is applicable to everyone and everything. And by changing the way we interact, we are changing, the future. We are changing everything around. So this aspect and this insight that we listened today is such an important thing to understand. To understand particularly this one, yeah? We are not just talking, interacting, but we are working with the energies. We are influencing each other through the things we do with the medium of energy. So thanks a lot, Sharda. Thanks, everyone.
Wonderful, wonderful explanations. Thank you so much. Maybe this is what we had to implement, the right way of speaking words. And also be conscious of the emotion from where we are speaking. So we have to be aware. So though we speak sweet words, energetic words, but the main source where we have connected within, that's also adds up, masters. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you. If at all no sharings, then shall we meet up again in the evening then, masters? Let us utilize these full moon energies. Okay, then thank you so much then. Meet in the evening. Shall we end the session, sir?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. Thank you. Then namaste everyone. Have a great time. Have a great day. Thank you.